Hello YouTube, hope you guys are doing great. So I haven't posted a video on here in a while, and I actually lost my voice recently after cheering on the bridge overhead of the expressway after MSU beat U of M this weekend, so woo. So I'm still recovering from that, but anyways, so as you know, or as you may know, I have a paranormal investigative group, and we don't even really do investigations anymore. It's more like doing house cleansings and blessings and exorcisms for families dealing with negative cases, which can be demonic or whatever you want to refer it to. And I find it really interesting that there's this debate about whether or not poltergeist cases, as we call them, are actually demonic or not. And you guys can debate this all you want. It's just, it's really interesting from all the cases that I've dealt with that were, deemed as poltergeist activity. And every single case that I've dealt with points towards something darker, as in like a demonic case, a demon that is influencing the family and affecting them and basically harassing them. I also noticed it was interesting too on that new show, Paranormal Witness, that the family was dealing with the poltergeist. Classic, poltergeist stuff, stacking things, organizing things, doing just really weird stuff, making a mess, just basically wreaking havoc on the family. And tried burning down the house and like all this other crazy stuff. And interestingly enough, there were footprints left from the spirit on the kitchen floor, and they were in a hoof print. And as we all know, demons are believed to have hooves. Commonly we hear hoof sounds and things like that, which is really interesting because, poltergeist activity is supposed to be like a noisy spirit, but a lot of people are like, well, it's a human spirit, right? And I tend to disagree. So I've always seen it turn to something darker, and I just refer to it as a demon. Because when you look at its motives and the level of power it has to do these things, most human spirits don't have those capabilities, so it's kind of interesting. So we dealt with a poltergeist case recently in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. It was about good 3-hour drive there and back for us to go visit this family. And this family is probably in their 60s or something like that. And they're like, we need help. This stuff's attacking us. So we get to the house and you can feel a heaviness. You can definitely tell. When I sense a demon, it's so different than a human spirit. And people who are watching this who are even like skeptics about this topic, I'm like off the edge for you. So don't even if you don't believe in this, just don't even worry about watching this. But for those of you that do believe, there's a huge difference. You can just tell. You can feel evil. And when I first encountered a demon when I was about, when I actually confronted it to get rid of it from this guy I was dating in his house, I think I was about 17 maybe, and it woke me up in the middle of the night, and that sense of terror and fear and absolute hatred is you can't even describe it, and it changes you. It changes your life, and it's just like, wow, how can you deny God when you see pure evil type stuff and experience these things, So, anyways, so we get to the house, there's big heaviness, and we're going over stuff that's happened and that I talked to her over the phone with, and it started off as innocent. She first was like, oh, it's friendly, and kind of took pity upon it, and that's what a lot of demons do, is they have an access point to be sometimes they appear as a child, as an angel, as an innocent spirit. And I'm not saying all human ghost things are demons. I don't believe in that, because I've seen very loving, good messages from human spirits that cannot possibly be evil. But I have and know and acknowledge demonic entities. So it started off as innocent, and eventually it progressed into more violent stuff. And she would hear these absolute terrible shrieking, howling sounds in her house. And it was the day that she contacted me. I had a terrible nightmare that I was battling with a demon in my sleep, and that usually happens is I actually encounter this spirit before the case comes to me. I don't know if that's part of psychic stuff or what, but it's a legit battle going on in my sleep, and we're speaking in Latin. It's crazy. So, and I usually fight it off and I win. And so I get this message from her being hey, we need help. And it was about a day or two after we had talked on the phone for a while that all of a sudden I hear this siren sound. I'm sitting here typing on this computer, responding to this person's question, and all of a sudden I hear this, whoop, and my hair stands up and I freeze, and I'm sitting here what the fuck? And it just didn't feel right. You can just sense it, and you're like, what the fuck? It's in my house. And that's the problem of being a demonologist and basically an exorcist, is that these demons will come to our house, my house, and try to scare us off so we don't come to the cleansing. But I always show up. I never step down, and I'm not fearful of it. Like, you can startle me, but, like, you're not going to shake my determination to help this family, because this family deserves to be at peace, and that's how, like, feel so firmly about that. So I go through the house, my dogs are like, oh, you know, I'm like, didn't you hear that? And they didn't seem to be affected by it. Nothing in our house makes that sound. So as we're doing the cleansing for this, and there's a bunch of consultation stuff we do like counseling for like a good hour to figure out why it even came into their family's life. And if you don't really address that, you're not going to really be able to successfully get rid of it. You can do a cleansing stuff, but you have to address the issues that are going on in the family that welcomed it. And ironically, this case was really strange in that it started to affect her after she was sick in bed for 3 weeks after coming home from U of M. U of M, you guys have demons in your hospital. And it was preying on her because she was weak and sick. And demons prey on people that are weak, like emotionally, psychologically, physically, etc., because they're easy prey. Anyways, so we're doing the cleansing, and I'm summarizing all this exciting, cool stuff for you just to get to this one point. So I didn't tell her that I heard that sound in our house. And so after we're doing the cleansing, I was like, you know, I heard this sound. And I mimicked it, and I repeated that exact sound, and she was like, oh, and like got chills and stuff like that. She's like, that is the exact sound that I hear in my house. And they hear it through like the heating system and like all this other crazy stuff, wolf howling, growling sounds, that weird siren shriek. And she would just be like, oh, shut up, I don't want to hear it, you know, and like talk back to this thing. But good to hear, because I don't want this video to be too long, that we got rid of it. She hasn't had a problem since. She is sensitive to other spirits and things like that, but the actual evil entity that was in her house is now gone. Bulldogs! Hi! I got my bulldog cup here too. But basically, like, it is scary being a reverend spiritual healer. I am a reverend through the Universalist Life Church, but it's just like, I don't consider myself as like a priest. It's more like a spiritual healer that I kind of deal with and help families with. And I know I'm like numerically a lot younger than probably what you guys would expect. I'm just going to be turning 23 in a couple weeks. And I'm a very old soul. I feel like an old bag lady stuck in this younger person's body, although it's getting fatter lately, I'll tell you that. And but I just have such a passion helping people. And but she seems to be sensitive to spirits and things like that. So but I definitely think that what was in there is gone. You can feel it when you're doing a cleansing. I do sell a DVD if you guys want to learn, and this is like a promotional ad thing. If you guys want to learn how to get rid of entities, and I use this for demonic cases too, but you have to be such a strong person. You have to have such a strong faith in God, Great Spirit, whatever, that you're going to get through this and that you can help this family or yourself. You can go to www.etsy, it's ETSY.com. And then for shops or owners, look up thewillowsnotch.com, as in a willow tree, and notch as in like a tree notch. The Willow's Notch. And on there should be an instructional DVD. I think it's like $15-20. Costs about like $13 to produce. So so I hope you guys enjoy that, and if you guys really need help doing it. But such a big responsibility. If you don't do it right and you don't follow exact steps and you are not thorough, like, you can make things 20 times worse. So you really have to be careful, really be thorough about things. But anyway, so I will talk to you guys later, and I'll update you with more stuff. This Saturday in a couple days, we're hosting another event at the Holly Hotel in Holly, Michigan for a haunted investigation evening. So hopefully we'll see some of you guys there. All right, thanks. Bye.